Good morning. I think we should start. My name is Agneta Jönsson, and I am the Executive Director of ILAC, the International Legal Assistance Consortium. But I'm also a board member of the Right Livelihood Award Foundation. And it's therefore a great honor for me to welcome all of you to this morning seminar. And of course, a special welcome to our speaker today. To actually have a representative from the Syria Civil Defence, or the White Helmets, here together with us is definitely not something that one can take for granted. We are extremely grateful to you, Raed Al-Saleh, and your colleagues from Mayday Rescue for taking time and to come and visit us in Stockholm and share your experiences with us. As I hope you all know, Raed Al-Saleh is in Sweden in order to receive the Right Livelihood Award tomorrow. The award will be presented to the Syria Civil Defence, and I quote the jury, for their outstanding bravery, compassion, and humanitarian engagement in rescuing civilians from the destruction of the Syrian civil war. The Right Livelihood Award is special in the sense that it's not only a reward that you receive once, but the award is a starting point of a long relationship where the Right Livelihood Foundation will continue to inform the world about your work, enable your contact with the amazing networks of over 150 laureates that we have now around the globe. We will spread your experience and knowledge also to the academic world and give you the support we can, both now and in the future. So again, we are extremely glad that you are here. And with that, I will very quick give the word to Kajsa to give you some other announcement that will happen later in the week. Thank you.
Thank you, Agneta. I'm Kajsa Övergård. I'm the Senior Program Director of the Right Livelihood Award Foundation. I just wanted to mention that on Saturday at Bio Rio on Södermalm, Hornstullstrand 3, the movie about the White Helmets, the documentary, will be shown, and after that we will have a discussion about the film. So that was my message. Thank you. I leave the word to Mats Karlsson.
So good morning, all of you. I'm Mats Karlsson, the director of the Institute. I want to wish you a very good morning. I see that we have a full hall, even on such an early morning. And it's a pleasure for us to reach out to all of you. This will also be filmed and sent, so we reach quite a large audience. We certainly will also mention this in our web magazine, Utrikesmagasinet, which I always welcome guests to always read. If you do Twitter, use hashtag #UIEvent. So without any other words, I would like to turn the word over to Raed Al-Saleh, who is head of the Syria Civil Defence. He will speak in Arabic with the translation by Farouq Habib. After that, we will have two commentaries from Bitte, Hammargren, and Jönsson. I'll introduce them later. But with that, over to you, Sir Raed Al-Saleh.
شكرا جزيلا على استضافتكم وصباح الخير جميعا.
Good morning everybody, and thanks for all of you for hosting us.
أنا بتشكر القائمين على جائزة سبل العيش، واللي هي أكيد بتعطي الفخر لأي شخص ممكن يحصل عليها.
We are grateful for the Right Livelihood Award, and we are honored by receiving this wonderful award.
وأنا فعلا كنت أتمنى أنه يكون اليوم موجود بيناتكم والوضع أفضل من هيك بسوريا.
I wish if I could be here with you in a better situation in Syria.
رغم كل الوضع المأساوي اللي عم نعيشه بسوريا والحجم تقدير هذا العمل اللي عم يقوموا فيه المتطوعين داخل سوريا من قبل المنظمات والدول الراعية لحقوق الإنسان، ولكن في دول هناك راعية للمجرمين أيضا وعم تقوم بانتهاكات بشكل يومي.
I have to say that despite all the great challenges in Syria and the work that we are doing to help the people, and despite that there are a lot of countries who believe in human rights and provide support to support the humanitarian work in Syria, but there are others also who have interest in continuing the atrocities against the Syrian people.
أنا بدي كمان أتشكر اللجنة اللي منحتنا الجائزة، لأنه منحنا هاي الجائزة أكيد بيعطي الأمل للمتطوعين اللي عم يشتغلوا داخل سوريا إنه في ناس مهتمين فيهم وفي ناس شايفين حجم التضحيات اللي عم يقدموها، واللي وصل اليوم عدد الشهداء اللي فقدناهم أثناء تأديتهم لمهامهم الإنسانية 149 شهيد.
I thank the committee of the Right Livelihood Award because they made a decision to send a message, an important message to the Syrian people and to our volunteers on the ground, a message of recognition and appreciation which we need as we face horrible conditions, and we've lost till now 149 volunteers who were killed while conducting their duties.
الدفاع المدني السوري الخوذ البيضاء هي بلشوا عمل من 3 سنوات وقدروا وخلال 3 سنين الماضية وصل عددهم ل 3000 متطوع الآن بيشتغلوا ب8 محافظات سورية.
The White Helmets work started 3 years ago, and now we have more than 3,000 volunteers working in 8 governorates in Syria.
بدأوا هني من متطوعين من مختلف الخلفيات، من أطباء ونجارين وحدادين وطلاب جامعات.
The White Helmets started as grassroots groups on the ground from people from so many different backgrounds. Doctors, nurses, teachers, carpenters, taxi drivers.
وهني بدأوا من الحاجة الملحة كانت للعمل تبعهم أثناء عمليات القصف الجوي اللي صارت تستهدف المناطق اللي تخرج عن سيطرة النظام السوري.
These grassroots groups were formed by ordinary people who were obliged actually to do something to respond to the airstrikes against their areas and trying to help their communities.
ونحن اخترنا نكون ونوقع على ميثاق المبادئ الخاص بالدفاع المدني السوري اللي واعتمدنا فيه على الميثاق الصادر عن الأمم المتحدة لتنظيم عمل فرق البحث والإنقاذ في العالم.
All of us were united and we agreed together to sign on a statement of principles that is in compliance with the international humanitarian law and the laws of the United Nations.
وتعهدنا نخدم كل السوريين بغض النظر عن انتماءاتهم السياسية أو العرقية أو المذهبية.
And we pledge to serve all Syrians, all civilians, all those who are in need, regardless of any political or religious background.
ولكن سبب وجودنا في المناطق اللي خارجة عن سيطرة النظام الآن هو إنه هاي المناطق هي عم تتعرض بشكل يومي لقصف جوي وهن بأمس الحاجة لناس بيشتغلوا مثل شغلنا.
Actually, our work is mainly in areas out of control of the Syrian regime because we are needs oriented and because all the airstrikes are in those areas.
ونحن في الأسبوع الأخير شفنا حجم الحرائق اللي بلش يلتهم بجبال اللاذقية واللي خاضع لسيطرة النظام السوري. ونحن أرسلنا إيميل للأمم المتحدة إنه نحن عنا فرق مدربة وجاهزة بالإطفائيات تبعها لتشارك بإخماد هاي الحرائق، ولهلا نحن عم نستنى الرد.
But we are always ready to help any Syrian where we are allowed to. So last week there were big fires in the woods in the Latakia mountains in a regime-controlled area, and we sent a letter to the United Nations offering assistance and asking facilitation to go and help the civilians there.
وبصراحة نحن خلال ال3 سنوات الماضية كان في ارتفاع بالذات بسنة 2014 بداية 2015 كان في ارتفاع بشكل ملحوظ لاستخدام البراميل المتفجرة بأحياء حلب الشرقية، ولا كان بريف دمشق، ولا حتى داريا. وهذا الشيء اللي احنا كنا موجودين بمنتصف 2014 في مجلس الأمن لمناقشات حظر استخدام البراميل المتفجرة على المدنيين، ونحن كنا موجودين وأدينا شهادة عن هاي الانتهاكات، عن هذا الاستخدام البراميل.
Starting from 2013, many civilian areas in Syria were targeted by barrel bombs, which are indiscriminate weapons. And for this reason, we advocated demanding cessation of using all the indiscriminate weapons, and particularly the barrel bombs.
وبعد إحصائيات مستمرة خلال 2.5 سنين تبين بعد تحليل البيانات بين انه 96% من الضحايا المدنيين اللي بيسقطوا بسوريا هن بيسقطوا جراء الغارات الجوية على المدنيين وعلى المراكز الحيوية. وهذا الشيء دفعنا لانه نحكي مع باقي النشطاء الانسانيين في العالم لنطالب بحظر جوي لحماية المدنيين داخل سوريا. وهذا الحظر كان عن خلفية للحفاظ على حياة المدنيين، ما كان هو لتحقيق أي أهداف سياسية منه.
And all the statistics over the past 2.5 years about the civilian casualties in Syria tells that the majority, more than 90% of the civilian casualties in Syria are because of airstrikes. So for this reason, we and our humanitarian NGOs who work on the ground inside Syria called for a no-fly zone on Syria to stop these airstrikes purely for humanitarian reasons, not for any political reason.
ونحن نتلقى تمويل من حوالي تقريبا الآن من 9 دول بيناتهم أمريكا وبريطانيا وألمانيا وهولندا والدنمارك واليابان وكندا وفي دول أخرى كمان تعطي دعم. وهذا الشيء يعني نحن ما لنا مخباينه موجود على بكل المقابلات نحن بنحكيها ونذكر الدول اللي بتقدم لنا الدعم، ولكن في فرق بين حجم الدعم اللي مقدم بين 2013 وبين 2015، وهذا الشيء بسبب زيادة عدد العمليات وزيادة عدد الغارات الموجودة داخل سوريا.
We have friends all over the world and we receive support from many governments like Denmark, the Netherlands, Japan, United States, UK and other countries. And we are very transparent in our funding and we publish it on our website. But of course the volume of needs increased over the past 2 years due to the escalation in violence and casualties in Syria, and that led to more financial needs.
نحن اليوم بسوريا عنا 120 مركز في داخلهم 360 فريق، ونحن عنا طموحات لحتى يزداد هذا العدد ونفتتح مراكز جديدة خاصة للنساء لندعم وجود المرأة ضمن صفوفنا وليكون لها دور فاعل في المجتمع.
Till now we have 120 centers operating inside Syria, including also training centers. And this number is being increased, particularly to increase the women participation also and open additional women points.
في ناس كتير بيقولوا إنه في بصفوفنا مسلحين موجودين، ونحن هذا الشيء بنقول هدول ما المسلحين، هدول كانوا مسلحين، وهذا الشيء من ضمن أهدافنا اللي هو بيسعى لتخفيف العنف داخل سوريا. وهذا الشيء نحن فخورين فيه، إنه عم نقدر نقنع ناس بظل الحرب اللي عم تعيشها سوريا إنه تترك السلاح، تترك طريق الموت وتتجه لطريق الحياة.
Sometimes few people accuse the white helmets that it accepts or it receives fighters to join the white helmets, and actually we are proud that we are building peace in Syria, and we advocate to reduce the violence. So many of the fighters chose to lay down their arms and join the white helmets to choose the way of life instead of the way of death. So yes, there are ex-fighters who decided to become rescue workers.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that presentation. We are very pleased to have you here honoring your work, but we'd like to know more about it. And to help us explore the challenges, we have two of our Middle East experts here with us, Jönsson and Bitte Hammargren. Would you please come up to the podium? Both are very well known to the Swedish audience. Both are staff here at the Institute. In addition to knowing the region, Bitte is, of course, also the editor of Utrikesmagasinet. We've agreed that you start, Per, so why don't you launch into some reflections?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Saleh. It's no doubt that the white helmets are obviously doing a marvelous humanitarian job, something that one would like to see repeated in many other areas of war and civil war. However, as we all know here, there have been some critical questions raised about some aspects of the white helmets, especially concerning the fact that the white helmets, the Syria Civil Defence, describes itself as independent, neutral, impartial, with no official affiliation to any political or military actor. For many people, this self-definition has led to raising some difficult questions that need to be addressed, I think. The first one concerns the funding of Syria Civil Defence. Out of approximately $60 million in contributions since 2013, the United States USAID, or especially its Office of Transitional Initiatives, an office that by supporters is called democracy promotion, and by its critics called instigating regime change. I don't take any side there. But this office has contributed $23 million out of 60. And the second big donor is the British Foreign Service, who have donated $29 million. And there are some other NATO countries, France, Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, who also contribute a little bit. Other European countries have chosen not to give Syria Civil Defence, the white helmets, any contribution, including this country, Sweden. And as far as I know, the European Union has not made any effort to support the white helmets. That's one thing, that's funding. You
Can I
mentioned...
just make sure that you got everything in the translation? Yes? Before you answer, let's continue a little bit, but you were able to translate. Okay, good.
Mrs. Saleh, you mentioned your offer to contribute to the fires outside Latakia, but also we noticed that the White Helmets in September put out a statement of its refusal to cooperate with United Nations as long as this world organization recognizes the Syrian government and operates in Damascus-controlled areas. I would like to have an explanation why you put yourself at a distance from the United Nations. And there are many questions, but I take just a third point. And this is in a way speculative, but there's been disturbing videos circulating on the web for a long time. They show white helmets carrying weapons, white helmets celebrating with jihadists, defeating Syrian soldiers, white helmets waving Al-Qaeda flags and similar flags, white helmets watching executions by rebels and then placing the dead bodies in body bags. Are these videos true? Can they be proved to be untrue? And if they are untrue, because it can't be explained who is the source, what is the fact with all the videos that white helmets provide to world media about cruelties committed by the Syrian government soldiers? Can we trust any of these videos? On both sides.
Can you repeat the last point?
Yes. The thing is, the main question, maybe Bitte will go into that more. Can we trust any of those videos that come out from Syria, either from the white helmets who provide a lot of footage to world media, or these media about white helmets that I mentioned that are also circulating? In both cases, they are not subject to what we old journalists call gatekeepers, experienced editors who check if there's any reason if they are true. I stop there, I think. I think Bitte have some other comments.
And actually, we were thinking that my questions would come just after, but I think, there is enough questions for Raed to answer directly.
So good.
So I keep
all right. Then, sir, if you would like to pick these three difficult questions.
هلا بالنسبة للنقطة الأولى لا ما أسئلة صعبة يعني هي طبيعي جدا الناس تتساءل لحتى تصير في صورة أوضح عن العمل تبع الدفاع المدني وهذا الشيء نحن.
These are not difficult questions at all, and it's normal that there will be people who have questions, and we are fully transparent and always happy to answer.
نحن بالنسبة لموضوع الدول اللي اختارت تدعم الدفاع المدني نحن ما جينا ولا على دولة طلبنا منها دعم وهي رفضت تدعمنا، وحتى السويد نحن ما طلبنا سابقا من الحكومة السويدية دعم مباشر وهي رفضت تدعمنا. فما بعرف انت الموقف الحكومة، هل انت مثلا هلا بتمثل الحكومة السويدية عتقول نحن رفضنا ندعم الوايت هيلمتس؟
I will go with the points one by another, but starting by example about the point of governmental support to the white helmets, and that there are governments who chose not to support the white helmets. Actually, we did not ever submit a request, and it was rejected by any government. We are not aware, for example, if the Swedish government refused to support the white helmets. I don't know if you represent the government of Sweden in this position, but for us, we were not refused by anyone. Do you want?
No.
Well,
Does he want?
Of course, my point with the first question was, it's not I who pose, it's these questions have been posed over and over again in the international media and other ways, that 95% of your income comes from Western NATO, US, British sources. Is that a problem for you? Is it a problem that this can be interpreted that you were sort of Western NATO tool or working for them or even instigated by them? I'm not saying that, but the question has been raised over and over again.
هلا نحن بسوريا عملنا واضح هو لمساعدة المدنيين في المناطق اللي عم تتعرض للقصف. بتوقع اليابان ما من دول الناتو يعني، وحتى اليو اس ايد ولا البريطانيا ولا دول الناتو ايضا بتدعم الامم المتحده. هل بتعمل الامم المتحده اداة بايد الناتو؟ هذا الكلام نفسه يعني.
I believe our work in Syria is very obvious for every objective person what we are doing there. There are countries like Japan, for example, who support us also. I don't think if it's NATO. I don't know if it's NATO or not. But these same countries, they also fund the United Nations and they fund a lot of humanitarian organizations. So does that make the UN and all the humanitarian organizations as NATO tools?
يعني هل ما بتوقع هناك في ارتباط بهذا الامر يعني؟ لانه نحن اليوم بنعرف ايضا انه في اتهامات كتير بالعالم تتوجه مثلا للمملكة العربية السعودية انه بتدعم القاعدة، وهي نفسها ثالث داعم للامم المتحدة. فهل الامم المتحدة ايضا بتدعم القاعدة؟
For example, also we see people accuse the government of Saudi Arabia that it supports Al-Qaeda, and at the same time, the same government supports the United Nations. Does that make the United Nations supporting Al-Qaeda or affiliated to it?
بالنسبة للبيان اللي وقعناه نحن مع مشاركة المعلومات مع الأمم المتحدة، بتوقع فهمان البيان أنت بشكل خاطئ. هو بيان وقع عليه 73 منظمة سورية من المستجيبين الأوائل للعمليات للإغاثة الإنسانية على خطوط الجبهات وداخل المناطق اللي تتعرض للقصف بشكل يومي، واللي هي كانت عدم مشاركة المعلومات مع مكتب الأوتشا في دمشق، وليس عدم العمل مع الأمم المتحدة.
Regarding the statement of September, I think there is some confusion or miscommunication about it. That statement was signed by 73 reputed humanitarian organizations working inside Syria, and it did not step away from the United Nations or created any problem with it. It announced that these organizations will not share information with the OCHA office in Damascus for various reasons that we can explain, but this is not about cutting relationship with the United Nations.
وهذا الشيء صار كمان أيضا بعد التقارير اللي صدرت عن مكتب دمشق عن عمليات إعطاء التمويل لمنظمات هي منخرطة بالحرب السورية، وهذا الشيء أيضا أعلنت الأمم المتحدة بفتح تحقيق فيه وإنه ما نكذب.
And that position came after a lot of critics and reports, which some of them were published here in Western media and in The Guardian, about the work of the United Nations in Damascus, and that some of the support is going to organizations in Damascus which are affiliated to armed groups and involved in the war in Syria.
ونحن بعد حتى توقيع هذا البيان أنا كان في هناك اجتماعات مستمرة. نحن اجتمعنا بنيويورك بالأمم المتحدة مع السيد ستيفن أوبراين، مع السيد ديمستورا، مع السيد راميش المدير الإقليمي لمكتب تنسيق الشؤون الإنسانية، وما في أي قطع أي علاقات. نحن بنجتمع معهم بشكل مستمر، وحتى امبارح كان في اجتماع مع مكتب الأمم المتحدة الخاص بالتحقيق بقصف قافلة المساعدات الإنسانية داخل سوريا قبل شهرين.
Just in September, after the statement, I met with Mr. Steve O'Brien in New York and Mr. de Mistura, and we meet with them regularly. We coordinate, and just yesterday we had a meeting in Turkey with the United Nations committee that is responsible of the investigations about the attacks on the UN convoys in Syria.
وبالنسبة للصور اللي حكيت عنها انه تبع الاحتفالات مع عناصر مسلحين بمدينة إدلب أو عملية الدعم أو عملية الإعدام الميداني، ففي بيانات صادرة من الدفاع المدني السوري بنفس التاريخ، في انك ترجع عليها موجودة على الويب سايت تبعنا، وبتوضح ملابسات الموضوع وبتوضح القرارات اللي اتخذتها، كون هي تصرفات فردية لا تنم عن سياسة المنظمة أو المبادئ الإنسانية الملتزمة فيها تجاه الشعب السوري.
And regarding the two incidents that you refer to, the picture of men celebrating or the field execution, we published statements at a long time ago clarifying our position, our code of conduct, and the arrangements that we've taken regarding these incidents.
عملية الإعدام الميداني اللي صارت في بريف حلب، حدد لك المكان، هي اللي احنا أحد المهام اللي نحن عم نقوم فيها بشكل مستمر، هي دفن كل الجثث اللي بتكون موجودة بكل المناطق، ونحن قمنا بعمليات دفن لكتير ضحايا من الطرفين بدون استثناء لمين منتميين. وهاي عملية هي كانت منفذة من قبل محكمة شرعية، ونحن هن خبرونا انه في جثة في المكان المعين ولازم تروحوا تدفنوها، فنحن توجه الفريق ليدفن الجثة، فهو وصل للمكان وكانوا لسه ما منفذين عملية الإعدام، فهذا الفرق التوقيت اللي كان، ولكن هو من المفروض نحن ما لنا موجودين، وهذا الشيء بسبب هاي العملية أيضا في بيان موجود فيها وبتبين شو صار وقتها وشو الإجراءات اللي احنا اتخذناها بحق الأشخاص اللي تواجدوا بطريق الخطأ بمكان اللي تنفذت فيه الجريمة.
For example, regarding the incident of the field execution, it was very clear, and we explained it several times on our website and by a statement. It's in our mandate and responsibility to bury the bodies regardless of the identity of those bodies, and we used to bury bodies for dead people from all sides inside Syria. In that incident, we were informed that there is a dead body that we have to go and bury, but actually when the volunteers arrived, it was the situation was that the Sharia court at that time executed that person, and the volunteers took the body and buried it as it's their duty regardless of the incident itself.
أنا برأيي تتعامل مع الموضوع، نحن نتعامل مع الموضوع كبشر، كإنسان. لا يمكن إنسان يروح يشوف شخص تحت الأنقاض ويسأله أنت لمين تابع. هذا لازم نساعده مين بغض النظر مين هو.
I ask you and ask everybody to think about the humanitarian principles in our work and in everything we should do. When we rescue someone, for example, we can't ask this person, what's your religion or what's your political opinion? It's our responsibility to rescue anyone who is under rubble.
Thank you for the clarification. I have no further questions at this moment, but now Bitte Hammargren will have some more maybe.
I may have. Thank you. And thank you for coming here. I mentioned this before, some of you have heard it, but I will mention it again. I asked a Syrian friend who's a refugee in Sweden, but who can you actually trust inside Syria in these days? And she said, no one. I mean, among the groups, no one except for the white helmets, actually. And one really has to imagine what an admirable work it is to dig out the people with bare hands from under the rubble. Having said that, I think coming from a press background, we also have to acknowledge the huge difficulties in establishing the real facts on the ground in Syria. I myself have been to rebel-held areas before. I dare not go there today for obvious reasons. There are difficulties getting a visa to Damascus, and I know there are colleagues in the room who've been there recently, but journalists going with a visa to Damascus also don't have free access to travel in the country and to meet
Bitte,
with whom they want.
Bitte, and slowly, so you can translate.
Okay, but now to my questions. It's about when we look at the website of the Syria Civil Defence. When we open it, we see the first on the front page a request to sign a petition in support of the no-fly zone. And Mr. Raed, you mentioned that this is purely for humanitarian reasons. However, it's interesting to see that there was a hearing in the US Senate committee with the chair of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Dunford, where he was saying that, well, to establish a no-fly zone in Syria would require something like 70,000 servicemen, and it would lead to a risk of a confrontation with Russian or Syrian aircraft, and they are not in favor of entering into this. So my question is, why not just call for the full implementation of the UN resolution calling for a ceasefire, and then going for the roadmap of the political track to a negotiated solution? This is the first question.
So the last sentence, please.
Why not calling instead for the full implementation of the UN resolution, which is calling for a ceasefire and then the political process, instead of calling for a no-fly zone? Okay.
Yes, but just give me a while to translate, please.
Would
If
you
you
like
wish
to
to answer this now, I can take
Yeah.
my two consecutive questions later.
ده السؤال اوكي هلا بتوقع ما بعرف شو لجنة الكونغرس ما بعرف شو حكت بس ولكن وقت اتفقت روسيا وامريكا بشباط الماضي خلال نص ساعة ما كان في طيران بالجو ولا مدة تقريبا 48 ساعة ما كان في طيران وما كان في أي طلعة جوية فوق سوريا وهذا الشيء ما كان في جنود لا حتى يعملوه بدون جنود عملوه. الشغلة الثانية
First of all, you said that a general estimated that it requires almost 70,000 soldiers or servants to apply a no-fly zone in Syria. I would like to tell you that when Russia and United States agreed on a cessation of hostilities agreement in February, they were able to impose a no-fly zone in Syria and stop all airstrikes within a very short period. So it requires a political will, not necessarily military intervention.
نحن المطالبات كانت بحظر الطيران عن فوق سوريا كانت هي قبل قرارات مجلس الأمن الصادرة الأخيرة ونحن من يوم الوقت صدرت القرارات بمجلس الأمن نحن كنا أول الناس اللي أيد قرارات مجلس الأمن وتطبيقها داخل سوريا ونحن هلأ الآن بشكل دائم وبكل اجتماعاتنا نطالب المسؤولين بالالتزام بتطبيق القرارات على كل الأطراف بدون استثناء لنضمن عملية انتقال سياسي تحفظ أرواح المدنيين داخل سوريا.
We supported all the Security Council resolutions and in all our meetings and advocacy work we demand immediate implementation of the Security Council resolutions. This is our demand. But we started calling for the cessation of airstrikes on Syria before these resolutions, and we are still in this demand to stop the killing of the Syrians.
ونحن أعلنا بالاجتماع مع السيد ستيفان دي مستورا وأبلغناه أنه نحن رح نكون جاهزين لنساعد بأي شيء أو كان مراقبة وقف إطلاق النار أو كان إيصال المساعدات وكان فتح ممرات آمنة. نحن رح نكون مستعدين لتنفيذ أي عملية بالتعاون مع الأمم المتحدة إذا بدأت العملية اللي تم الاتفاق عليها بين الأطراف السياسيين.
And we formally several times informed the Special Envoy, Mr. de Mistura, that the White Helmets are ready to cooperate with the United Nations to monitor implementation of the Security Council resolutions, and we issue reports about violations of the agreements in Syria, and we are ready to help in humanitarian corridors, and everything is required to support the efforts of the United Nations.
So, my second question. You operate only in rebel-held areas. You're a very young organization, of course, and it takes time for a young organization to develop its platform. But have you made any efforts to start operating within Western Aleppo, for instance? And in relation to that, what is your point of view on attacks from Eastern Aleppo, where you are operating, from hardline groups like Nusra Front on the western side of Aleppo? Amnesty was recently criticizing these attacks of being indiscriminate against civilians in western Aleppo. So what is your point of view here?
شو رأيكم بالقصف اللي عم بيصير على حلب الغربية من مجموعات متطرفة مثل النصارى بحلب الشرقية؟ منظمة العفو الدولية أصدرت تقرير قالت إنه في قصف عشوائي عم يصير من حلب الشرقية على حلب الغربية من هي المجموعات، فأنتم شو موقفكم بهذا الأمر؟
هلا نحن ما بنشتغل بس بمناطق المعارضة، بس للتوضيح نحن عندنا مراكز بتشتغل في المناطق الخاضعة لسيطرة الأكراد. عندنا مركز بيشتغل بعفرين كان، وفي عندنا نحن أكثر من مرة رسائل للصليب الأحمر وللهلال الأحمر الدولي لنستجيب لعدة كوارث صارت بالمناطق اللي خاضعة لسيطرة النظام، ما بس حلب الغربية. يعني مثلا عندنا بركن الدين بدمشق صار في حالة فيضانات قبل سنة ونص تقريبا، ونحن أرسلنا إيميل للصليب الأحمر لنستجيب لهذيك وما كان في رد. وهلا مثل ما حكيت قبل يومين كان في إرسال إيميل أيضا للاستجابة إلى الحرائق الموجودة حاليا باللاتية.
We would like to work everywhere in Syria. For example, we had a center also in Kurdish controlled area in Afrin. And in several occasions before, we expressed readiness to interfere in regime-controlled areas if we are allowed to go there. So there was an incident in Rukn al-Din in Damascus, and we communicated with the International Red Cross Committee, offered assistance and asked for facilitation. And just as I told you 2 days ago, when the fires erupted in Latakia Mountains in regime-controlled areas, we sent a letter to the United Nations offering assistance and asking for facilitation.
نحن موقفنا واضح من قتل المدنيين بغض النظر مين القاتل.
Regarding shelling on civilians, wherever they are, our position is very clear, regardless of the identity of the perpetrator or the killer.
نحن ضد قتل المدنيين بأي شكل من الأشكال، كان بطريقة عشوائية أو بطريقة منظمة، لأنه المدنيين آخر شيء هني ما لهم أي علاقة بالحرب، واللي عم بصير اليوم هو في صراع عسكري ما بعرف شو بيسموه برا في أوروبا، بس ولكن موقف الوايت هيلمتس هو ضد قتل المدنيين من أي طرف كان. هو بشكل مستمر بيطالب بمحاسبة كل المجرمين المسؤولين عن قتل المدنيين في سوريا.
regardless how people would describe the military conflict now in Syria and what's happening. But from our side, we are strictly against killing the civilians anywhere. And the civilians are the innocent casualties now in Syria. And regardless of their background, they should not be targeted, not indiscriminately and not deliberately.
And my final question here, I know the audience wants to ask also, is do you have a vision of what Syria could look like when there is peace again? And for instance, if we take places like Tartus with Alawite, the majority, I suppose, still in Tartus, how do you imagine that they should be protected? Because there can also be revenge attacks against them. We have today a situation, I mean, not only the war crimes of the regime, but we also have so many different militant groups operating inside Syria.
عندي سؤال أكيد موجود عند الكل إنه كيف أنت تشوف يعني سوريا بالمستقبل بالسلام كيف شكلها بده يكون كيف ممكن ينحقق هذا الشيء وبخصوص اللاعبين مثلا مدينة مثل طرطوس اللي على ما بعتقد إنه غالبيتها علوية كيف ممكن يتم حمايتهم هدول بوقت اللي متوقع أن يكون في كتير عمليات انتقامية إنه غير جرائم الحرب اللي حكيت عن النظام في كتير مجموعات تانية كمان متورطة بجرائم.
هلا أنا ما بعرف كيف بس بعرف الشكل العام يعني فيني أحكي.
Honestly, I don't know how we will be able to achieve peace in Syria, but I know how I would like to see Syria in peace.
أنا بعرف إذا كان بسوريا في اتفاقيات واضحة ومعاقبة كل المجرمين اللي ارتكبوا انتهاكات بحقوق الإنسان داخل سوريا، فأكيد رح نوصل لعملية عدالة انتقالية بتضمن حقوق الجميع وما بيكون في أي ردات فعل انتقامية من أي منطقة أخرى. وللعلم طرطوس هي ما منطقة علوية، طرطوس المدينة هي سنية ولكن الريف هو في قرى علوية.
I believe that in order to have peace in Syria, there should be accountability and there should be transitional justice, and all those who committed crimes in Syria should have fair trials. And when we have justice in Syria, everybody will have peace equally. The Alawite in Tartus, and it should be noted that Tartus is not purely an Alawite city. There are also a lot of Sunnis there, but justice is necessary to have peace for everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Bitte and Per. Please come back later in the discussion. But now I would like to turn to the audience and see who would want to comment. So please, the mic here.
Thank you very much for your talk. I would have a question about, we see in Syria a lot of deliberate destruction of healthcare facilities and convoys, etc. How do the White Helmets deal with that in their daily work?
Thank you. I think we'll take the questions one by one.
أول شيء صراحة أنا بتشكرك على هذا السؤال لأنه كل الناس كانت عم تتجه باتجاهات السلبية لمنظمة كتير صغيرة هي ما بتأثر على حياة حدا ونسيانين عدد المنشآت الطبية وعدد مراكز الوايت هيلمتس اللي انقصفت خلال الأشهر الماضية.
First of all, I would like to thank you for your questions. While people may focus on other political issues for small organizations, it's very important to focus on the real work and real sacrifices of these humanitarian workers, the medical facilities, and the White Helmet centers which are working inside Syria.
بس بحلب الشرقية، ما راح أحكي عن باقي مناطق سوريا. خلال الأسبوع الماضي قصفت كل المشافي وكل مراكز الدفاع المدني داخل حلب وتدمرت بشكل كامل.
Just in eastern Aleppo
خلال الأسبوع الماضي.
During the past week, all hospitals and White Helmets centers in eastern Aleppo were bombed and destroyed.
والفرق الآن التابعة للوايت هيلمتس تعمل بما تبقى من معدات وآليات عندها.
Now the teams are hardly working using what's left from the equipment and the vehicles after destruction.
المستشفيات تعمل بما قدرت الأطباء وبما قدروا المسعفين أنه يستخرجوا من مواد طبية من تحت أنقاض المباني المستشفيات اللي دمرت.
The hospitals are working depending on what's left of the medical materials and equipment which they took from under the rubble of destruction and moved to other places.
النساء والأطفال بحلب اليوم يتمنون الموت على الإصابة لأنه ما في حدا مين يعالجهم.
Women and children now in Aleppo, they prefer death rather than being injured because there are no doctors to treat them.
الغارات باللحظة، ما بدي أقول بالدقايق، باللحظة في غارات على المدينة وفي قذائف مدفعية وفي كل أنواع القذائف عم تسقط على المدينة، من مورتر لهاون لغارات جوية لمدفعية. تقريبا ما ضل نوع سلاح ما استخدم في مدينة حلب خلال الشهرين الماضيات.
The bombs on Aleppo now are counted by seconds, not by minutes. All kinds of bombs by airstrikes, mortar shelling, surface-to-surface missiles.
ما عم بالغ إذا بقولكن فقدنا أرواح ناس تحت الأنقاض بسبب عدم قدرتنا للوصول لمكان القصف، بسبب عدم قدرتنا للوصول لمكان القصف بسبب كثافة الغارات.
I'm not exaggerating at all when I say that we lost children and people who died under rubble because we were not able to arrive to their locations because of the intense shelling.
وأنا برأيي اليوم نسلط الضوء على 250 ألف إنسان المهدد حياتهم بتقرير الأمم المتحدة، أفضل ما نقول نحكي عن تقرير طلع باستهداف بقذائف هاون أو قذائف عشوائية لاستهداف مدنيين بغرب حلب. ونحن أكيد ضد قتل المدنيين، ولكن وقت بيكون في عنا مصيبة أكبر لازم نركز على الشيء الكبير وما ندور على الشيء اللي ممكن يكون أقل حدة.
We stress again that we are against targeting of civilians wherever they are, but we should give the priority to focus on those 250,000 people who suffer the siege and the bombing in Aleppo, rather than going in distraction and focusing on other small incidents here or there.
والروس قالوا بكل صراحة جروزني صارت حلوة هلا، فنحن مستعدين ندمر حلب ونرجع نعمرها بنسويها مثل جروزني.
The Russians were very clear that they offered the example of Grozny, and they believe that it was a success story for them to destroy a city and then rebuild it again.
Thank you very much. There was someone here, yes, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Niklas Kebon. I work with Syria at the Foreign Ministry. I didn't want to intervene at this point. We will have the opportunity to meet with Mr. Saleh and Mr. Habib at the Foreign Ministry later today. But I do want to express my respect for your work and for the 150 or so colleagues of yours that have died while doing their work. I was a bit surprised by the tendency of the discussion. One of our main problems with the crisis in Syria where we are, more than anything else as a country, one of the main humanitarian donors to humanitarian action. One of the main problems is the politicization of humanitarian action. And we've been trying to fight against that, whether it is criticism against the work that the United Nations organizations are doing out of Damascus, or whether it is humanitarian actors working in opposition-controlled areas. Just to say that, because it was put as an example, there has been no decision by our government not to support the White Helmets. We have in many ways been supporting humanitarian action all over Syria. Our main channel is often the United Nations organization, but we also work through main international NGOs. But at no point have we, as Mr. Saleh said, been asked to support specifically the White Helmets. So we have definitely not made a decision not to do that. I think we could well have done that because the work of civil defense organizations at this point is maybe the most important and the most acute work that is needed among the various humanitarian sectors because of the horrendous violence that is inflicted on areas, particularly now in Aleppo, but in many other areas too. So I wanted to make that clear, just as a fact. Thank you.
Thank you. There was actually no question. I don't know if you want to react.
Thank you very much.
But okay. Then there's a gentleman here.
I have two questions. The first one is a little bit...
Mic close to your... I think it's on. Just hold it close to your... Yeah, just close to your mouth.
Yeah, thank you. The first question is about Assad again, because in an interview, previous interview, Assad claimed that referring to the White Helmets as being politicized and being functioning as a humanitarian mask to implement their agendas for those who support them. How do they...
The agenda of who?
The agendas of those who support the White Helmets. So he doubted your achievements. How do you reply to that? To Assad's attitude specifically?
Sorry, the last question, how?
How do the White Helmets reply to Assad's stance on the White Helmets' achievements?
And you had another brief question?
Yeah, very quick one. Please. How do you see the future of the White Helmets, whether the war ends or not?
Okay.
هلا للأسف ما بعرف أنت قلت لي بدك ترد على بشار الأسد، يعني ما بحب رد عليه، بس راح جاوبك على سؤالك. يعني هي اتهام من ضمن الاتهامات الكتيرة. يعني هل نحن بننفذ أجندات الغربية، ولا نحن ذراع لتنظيم القاعدة، ولا نحن بنشتغل للموساد، ولا نحن بنشتغل ما بعرف لمين؟ يعني ما بعرف. في مجموعة من التناقضات من الاتهامات البروباغندا اللي عم تنحكى علينا. يعني أنا ما فيني، يعني بصراحة كل واحد له منحى عن الثاني. يعني عن مين، على أي واحد نحن لازم نرد، وأي واحد منهم هو الصحيح.
I'm not interested in commenting on what Bashar al-Assad says. But it's just political accusations, like one of all these accusations, which are all contradicting with each others. Are we a NATO tool, or are we Al-Qaeda tool, or Mossad tool? Or there are a lot of accusations, and all of them are insignificant.
أنا راح جاوبك كلمتين صراحة. راح أنهي الموضوع الاتهامات، راح ألخصه بكام كلمة. إذا بتكون ثابت بعملك وصادق بعملك، صدقني في كتير راح يحتاروا شو بدهم يتهموك، وهذا الشيء اللي نحن صاير معنا.
I will tell you briefly regarding all these accusations. If you stay straightforward and focus on your work and work very clearly, the others will every time fabricate a new accusation, and they don't know exactly how would they target you.
ونحن بالدفاع المدني ملتزمين للمستقبل بالوايت هيلمتس. إذا وقفت الحرب راح نكون أول الناس المساهمين بمساعدة الناس لإلقاء السلاح بإزالة مخلفات الحروب لحتى نساعد اللاجئين والنازحين يرجعوا على بيوتهم، لحتى نساهم بإعادة الأعمار بالبنية التحتية في سوريا.
So we focus on our work, and we hope when the war ends in Syria, we will work first to demilitarize everything happening in Syria and help fighters to lay down their arms and help the refugees to return back to their neighborhoods and villages and help to rebuild Syria again.
وإذا ما وقفت الحرب نحن مستمرين بالنضال والكفاح ونضل نضحي بأرواحنا لننقذ الناس الثانيين، لأنه نحن رفعنا شعار من بداية عمرنا واللي هو ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا.
If the war continues, we will continue our work. We stay committed. We will stay always ready to put our lives in danger to rescue others, as our motivation and principle. Serving one life is saving all of humanity.
Thank you. There's a question up there.
Good morning. My name is Benoit Gers. Last year I was in Syria for the International Medical Corps in Damascus and Tartus. Previously I was with the UN in Africa and also in Africa with Doctors Without Borders. My question will be very technical from the perspective of a humanitarian worker. What is your status? Are you NGO? And if you are you able to deliver a weekly report about your activities, your output in beneficiaries, your operation, and so on? Regarding your funding, you mentioned public fundings. Do you receive also private fundings? Also, what is your work in the field with other NGO, Red Crescent, Red Cross, International Corps, and Oxfam? Finally, you talk about neutrality.
Excuse me, last question,
I think,
please. What's the relationship?
Sorry?
The last question was?
How do you work in the field with the other NGOs in Syria? Namely the Red Crescent, the Red Cross, the International Medical Corps, and Oxfam. Lastly, you talk about neutrality, and I'm a bit confused because how can you claim being neutral when we receive so much fund from allied countries, NATO allied countries, and also when you have conflicting views with the UN and refuse to exchange information with OCHA? Thank you. Shukran.
Did you get all of that?
بس أعيد النقط. شو كانت أول نقطة؟ متذكر النقط؟
هلا السؤال الأول عم بيحكي عن بس ممكن تعيدهم معلش لأنه ما ضعنا بالترجمة.
Please just give me the 4 points again.
The question of neutrality, the claim of neutrality. How can you justify neutrality when you receive so much money from a NATO-allied country and you have conflicting position with the United Nations and refuse to share information with OCHA?
هلا أول شيء نحن منظمة NGO، منظمة مجتمع مدني بتشتغل داخل سوريا. بالنسبة للتنسيق مع المنظمات الدولية بسوريا، نحن بننسق تقريبا مع كل المنظمات بدون استثناء، مع الهلال الأحمر، مع الصليب الأحمر، حتى في تبادل معلومات بيننا وبينهم، وفي أيضا في تعاون ببعض المناطق اللي هن بيشتغلوا فيها كمان. وبنتلقى تمويل غير حكومي، في عنا تمويل شعبي نحن بيجينا أيضا من أصدقائنا بكل دول العالم، وأصدقائنا الأكثر هن عايشين بأوروبا وبأمريكا أكثر من الدول العربية حتى. الشغلة الأخيرة إنه كيف ما بنتبادل معلومات مع الأوتشا. نحن بنتبادل معلومات مع الأوتشا وبشكل كامل، ولكن نحن عم نحكي عن مكتب دمشق. نحن ما بنشتغل مع مكتب دمشق، كلامنا واضح. نحن مكتب الأوتشا الخاص بنيويورك وبتركيا وبالأردن وبعمان بنشتغل معهم كلهم باستثناء مكتب دمشق. نحن بنرفض مشاركة معلوماتنا مع مكتب دمشق لأنه عم يتم استخدامها بطريقة غير حيادية من قبل مكتب دمشق. هذا اللي احنا كنا معترضين عليه، والأمم المتحدة فتحوا تحقيق بهذا الموضوع ووعدونا أنه يعدلوا هاي الآلية بهاي الطريقة، وهن مشيانين بالتعديلات. وفي اجتماع ب 22 ديسمبر بالأردن رح يجمع كل مكتب دمشق مع باقي مكاتب الأوتشا مع المنظمات السورية لحتى يحطوا خطة عمل واضحة تتناسب مع طلباتنا اللي هي طلبات محققة، ما كانت طلبات خيالية.
First of all, yes, we are an NGO. Our funding is not limited to the grants from governments. We receive private funding and donations from individuals, from private companies, from friends, and from governments. We maintain high coordination with the local and international NGOs in the areas where we operate, including those who are registered on the OCHA clusters and platform, and the Red Cross, and all the other international NGOs who operate in the areas where we work. Regarding the statement again about sharing information with the United Nations, we stress we are on continuous coordination with the OCHA office in Gaziantep. We suspended sharing our information with the OCHA office in Damascus because we had many objective and justified criticisms which were explained, and we maintained coordination and meetings with the senior officials at the United Nations who work on Syria and in New York itself. On 22nd of December, we will have a meeting in Amman with representatives from OCHA Damascus office and the other offices, and representatives of the Syrian NGOs. We will be represented there to discuss how we can make sure this information which are shared are used correctly and respect the principles of our humanitarian work.
Okay, thank you. There was a question here, please.
My name is Anthony, an ex-teacher. Just two observations. You seem to have very good contact with the rebels, especially maybe al-Nusra, I don't know. Because you have made two statements here. You said when the war is over, you will advise the rebels to lay down their weapons. I don't really understand when the war is over. And then secondly, you also made an admission here which quite surprises me. You said they are rebels, well, you say rebels fighting in your ranks. These are the very people both the government and the United Nations has been advising to leave. I think you will make enormous contributions to peace in Syria if you do not accept them in your ranks, whether they are ex or active rebels. Being neutral doesn't mean accepting people who have stopped fighting.
Thank you.
أول شغلة إنه أنت إنه يبدو إنه أنت في عندك علاقات قوية مع مجموعات متمردين ما فيهم نصرة، يمكن ما بعرف كونه أنت قلت إنه أنت بعد الحرب بتكون عم تقنع العالم المتمردين إنه يلقوا أسلحتهم، فمعناها إنه أنت يعني وثاني شغلة إنه أنا أنت كمان اعترفت هلا هون إنه لما قلت على المجموعات المسلحة اللي بالمناطق اللي بتشتغلوا فيها فمحل ما بيسمحكمش، فأنتم علاقة طيبة، فإنه أنتم موسم حيادية مفروض إنه تكونوا ضد هاي المجموعات، إنه يكونوا عندكم
هلا نحن بشكل خاص ضد قتل المدنيين، ونحن مثل ما قلت نحن بنشتغل بأي مكان في حاجة لنا. يعني هل لأنه أنا في 10 مسلحين مثلا، أنا بدي أعطيك مثال، هل أنا إذا في 10 مسلحين ضمن حي في 10,000 نسمة ما بروح بشتغل هنيك لأنه في 10 مسلحين إذا قصف هدول المدنيين؟ هل هاي مقارنة برأيك صحيحة؟
We stress again that we are against killing civilians everywhere, but we are also committed to help civilians everywhere. Imagine if there are 10 armed men, regardless of their identity, in a specific neighborhood, and there are 10,000 civilians there. Do you expect from us to abandon the civilians there and refuse to help them because there are armed men in the same neighborhood? Is this our humanitarian duty?
بالنسبة لعملية إلقاء السلاح من قبل المسلحين، فهي بعد كل عمليات السلام بيكون في عمليات دمج للناس اللي حملت السلاح أثناء الحروب.
Regarding disarming process in Syria after the war, in all conflict zones, when the war is over, there should be some initiatives and processes in order to re-merge and integrate those fighters in the community again.
وبكل دول العالم ما بس يعني سوريا ما استثناء، اللي بيشاركوا بالحروب هن بيكون عمليات دمجهم أسهل بعمليات البحث والإنقاذ والإطفاء، لحتى يضل يحس، لأنه أنت بتعرف كل إنسان بيشيل سلاح وبيروح بقاتل بالجبهات وهاي بيحس حاله إنسان بطل هو. فأنت لازم كيف بدك تقنع هذا الشخص يرجع يصير مثلا يلم قمامي من الشارع؟ ما راح يقتنع معك. أما تقنعه يكون بطل بإطفاء الحرائق، بمساعدة المدنيين، بأنه يتخلى عن طريق الموت ويتبع سبيل طريق الحياة، فهو أكيد رح يحس بحاله إنسان بطل، وهذا الشيء بيعطيه سهولة ليقتنع بهذا الشيء، ما لأنه نحن بنمتلك علاقات معه.
And when we say that the civil defense work is one of the options to reintegrate ex-fighters, it's because we believe that those who fight after the war, it might be difficult for them, for example, to return to normal jobs, hairdresser or salesman or something like that. They would look for something heroic. So it might be attractive for them to become a policeman or a firefighter or a rescue worker.
Okay, thank you. There was a question here, please.
Thank you. My name is Johanna Washolm. I represent Church of Sweden International Department. That's also partner to the Right Livelihood Award. Thank you so much, Syed, Raed, and Farouq, for your presentation. I admire your work, and my question is quite basic, yet huge, I guess. What can we do, people who are not necessarily politicians or decision makers, but would like to contribute to somehow ease the pain of people in Syria and maybe in the long term contribute to a peaceful solution?
Thank you very much indeed. We're happy to co-organize this meeting with you.
هلا برأيي اللي ما سياسيين مثلنا كل شيء بيقدروا يعملوه انه يقدروا يوصلوا رسالة لكل الناس، يضلوا يحكوا عن المعاناة المدنيين بسوريا، يحكوا عن عدد الضحايا اللي عم يسقطوا كل يوم، عن حجم الدمار وحجم الدمار بالأبنية ولا بالبنية التحتية اللي عم تعرض لسوريا. لازم نضل نذكر بسوريا وبالقضية السورية لحتى يضلوا السياسيين يحسوا انه في مطالبات لانهاء هاي الازمه الانسانيه اللي ما مر عليها اللي عفوا اللي هي اسوأ ازمه انسانيه من اكثر من 100 سنه.
I believe all of us, we as non-politicians, should work more on raising awareness and passing the messages to the whole world to remind people about what's happening in Syria, the continuous tragedy, the killing of civilians, the destruction of the infrastructure there. This is what we expect from you to spread the message among the people. Because this is the worst catastrophe happening now in Syria since the Second War.
Thank you very much. There is, please.
My name is Zainab from Embassy of Iraq. I have a question. It's a smart question. I just need to know the position of the government, the Syrian government, of your work. Are they supporting because you say, or they are standing against you? Because as you used some phrases that if we are allowed to work there, so I need to know what do you mean by that? I will speak Arabic instead of you. أتوجه بالسؤال أريد أعرف موقف الحكومة السورية من عملكم، هل هم ضدكم أم معكم؟ Clearly for the audience.
هلا الحكومة السورية هي ضد 3/4 الشعب السوري، يعني ما ضدنا بس.
But you are non-governmental organization, so you are doing great work in rescuing civilians. So that's.
نحن لا شوف لك يعني أنا.
But first of all, the Syrian government is against most of the Syrian people, not only us.
يعني اليوم في 12 مليون لاجئ ونازح من سوريا هذول.
There are 12 million Syrian people who are forcibly displaced.
أكيد هذول يعني نزحوا لأنه مع الحكومة السورية ولا لأنه الحكومة السورية ما معهم؟
Of course they were not displaced if the Syrian government support them.
بغض النظر عن الحكومة السورية.
And regardless of the issue of what's called the Syrian government.
والموقف اللي هي اتخذته ضد شعبها.
And its position against its own people.
نحن موقفنا كخوذ بيضاء نحن مع الشعب السوري.
Our position that we stand for the people, for the Syrian people.
بغض النظر عن انتماءاته السياسية أو العرقية أو الإثنية.
Regardless of the political, religious or ethnic background of the people, the ordinary people.
ونحن عنا مراكز دفاع مدني بكل القرى الموجودة بالمناطق الخارجة عن سيطرة النظام اللي هي مسيحية أو درزية.
Our centers in the areas which are out of control of governments are existed in all of the areas including Christian and Druze areas.
ونحن ملتزمين بخدمة أهلنا بكل سوريا بغض النظر وين المناطق، ونحن لهيك بنقول إذا سمحونا، لأنه هن إذا ما سمحونا ما بنقدر نشتغل.
And we are committed and willing to help our people all over Syria, regardless of their backgrounds. But we say if we are allowed to, because they do not allow us.
ونحن كمنظمة بالأصل بنحكي بهاي الطريقة بأي منطقة بيسمحوا لنا نشتغل فيها مين ما كان، يعني بجوز أوقات الفصيل المسلح ما يسمح لنا نشتغل فما بنقدر نشتغل كمان. يعني نحن اليوم عنا بسوريا ما في حدا حاكم سوريا، في شيء اسمه سلطات الأمر الواقع، نحن هيك بنسميه سلطات الأمر الواقع. أي سلطة أمر واقع بتسمح لنا نشتغل راح نشتغل.
There are no legitimate authorities now all over the Syrian territories. There are de facto authorities on local areas, and we say that we work wherever we are allowed to work, because there might be, even in the areas out of control of the government, there might be armed groups who do not allow us to operate. So wherever we are allowed to help civilians, we will go and help them.
لأعطيك مثال صغير كمان عن الحكومة السورية. بالمفاوضات الأخيرة بجنيف الحكومة السورية رفضت انه الناس اللي عايشين باوروبا وبامريكا وبتركيا وبالاردن وبلبنان وبالعراق انه يصوتوا بالانتخابات القادمة. يعني في حدا بيرفض نص شعبه يصوت؟
عفوا انا بدي جاوبك، كلامك غير صحيح. انت مع
Okay.
انك عم تحكي شغلات.
Excuse me, you don't have the word, madam. Madam.
احكي معي بالعربي بالعربي. احكي معي بالعربي.
Don't understand you.
Madam, please.
ايه بالعربي بالعربي. بالعربي.
Habib, we don't understand you.
ما فهمت عليك شيء انا.
انت ما رح تريد تفهم علي لانك انت عم تكذب على الناس.
اوكي. اوكي.
لا لا معلش انا معلش هي عم بتهيني هلا.
Sorry, just one thing. I'm Syrian and I'm a journalist, and you say he's lying to people. Could you please give us the facts if you have facts? Yeah, could you show us the facts?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, show us the facts.
This is not a debate. Let's move on.
أنا بس هلا أنا معلش أنا I am sorry. أنت بترد علي بالإنجليزي وبالعربي وبالسويدي، أنت ما رديتي بس بالسويدي. بكل الأحوال أنا شو ما كان رأيك أنا بحترمه، وأكيد أنا ما يعني ولو اختلفنا في الرأي ولكن إحنا بنضل سوريين.
طبعا.
والسوريين ما بيقولوا لبعضهم كذابين قدام كل العالم، ونحن المفروض نحترم بعضنا. إذا أنت في عندك شيء ممكن تحكيه أنا ممكن أسمعك وممكن رد عليك بكل صراحة وبكل أخوية لأنه نحن أهل.
I respect your opinion. At the end, we are Syrians and we should respect each other. If you have something specific, I'm happy to listen and to answer you.
Thank you very much. We move on. Yes, please.
Jag har en fråga till Mats Karlsson. Väldigt kort fråga. Får jag fråga på svenska så kanske någon kan översätta?
Well, I'm not here. Your questions should be directed to Mr. Raed al-Sabah.
Är det okej att ställa en kort fråga på svenska?
Yes.
Okej. Jag vet Utrikespolitiska institutet. Jag vet att ni vill vara neutrala i förhållande till parterna i Syrien och nu har ni bjudit in den ena parten som uppfattar den ena parten. Och då är min fråga till Mats Karlsson, kommer institutet att också kanske i ett senare läge bjuda in någon som berättar om den syriska regeringens och syriska statens
thank you. I think the
problematik,
question
hur de vill formulera läget i Syrien.
This is not a question to you, sir. It's a question to the institute. He's wondering. He's asking us, will we also be inviting people from the Syrian government to explain the Syrian position, making the assumption that you have a position that is against the Syrian government. You might want to comment that, but to you I can only say that we are organizing continuous debates and discussions on Syria here and will continue to do so in the future as well.
معلش أنا أحكي. هلا نحن ما لنا سياسيين لنقعد مع الحكومة السورية. أنا ممكن اجتمع مع كل المنظمات المجتمع المدني اللي تعمل بالشام وبطرطوس وباللاذقية وبكل المناطق الخاضعة لسيطرة الحكومة، ممكن أقعد معهم، ممكن نحكي. نحن باعتبارنا بنشتغل بنفس العمل، بنفس التوجه، بنفس الأهداف والقيم والأخلاق، ولكن الحكومة السورية بتقعد هي مع المعارضة السياسية اللي بيقعدوا مع بعضهم. نحن ما لنا معارضة سياسية، نحن عمال إغاثة إنسانيين، نستجيب للضربات الجوية. هاي مهمتنا مساعدة السوريين، مساعدة أهلنا. نحن رفضنا نخرج من بلدنا لنساعد أهلنا اللي عم يعيشوا كل يوم أزمة إنسانية بسبب القصف الجوي المتكرر على المدنيين. هذا هو الهدف الرئيسي من عملنا، ونحن بنقعد مع كل المنظمات الإنسانية. نحن من فترة كتير قصيرة كنا قاعدين مع أخواتنا منظمات بيشتغلوا بدريكيش، بيشتغلوا بصافيتا، بيشتغلوا بطرطوس، بيشتغلوا بدمشق، بحمص، بسقيلبية. كلهم بنقعد معاهم، هن أهلنا، ونحن بنقعد بنحكي متفقين على القيم والأهداف اللي لازم نخدم فيها أهلنا، بغض النظر السياسيين شو عم يتفقوا مع بعضهم، شو راح يتفقوا مع بعضهم.
We support Syrian dialogue. We are not politicians to have a debate with the Syrian government or any political body, but we are always happy to talk and coordinate with Syrian civil societies groups working also in regime-controlled areas. We met with many of them before who operate in Tartus and Turkish and other areas. And as the humanitarian NGOs and civil society groups should share same humanitarian principles and values.
I think that we are coming to the end of the very brief, if you have to.
Hi, and thank you very much. My only question is, what are the main challenges? I know you mentioned, of course, the airstrikes, but are there other key challenges in your work? And what would you like to do that you can currently not do in your work? Thank you.
سؤالنا بسيط انه شو هي اهم التحديات اللي بتواجهوها بعد ما كيف في تحدي القصف الجوي؟ هل في تحديات اخرى؟ وشو يعني الاشياء اللي كنتوا بتتمنوا لو فيكم تعملوها ما بتقدروا؟
هلا اهم تحدي اللي فعلا نحن بنواجهه هو الضربات المزدوجه بالقصف الجوي. الضربات المزدوجة هي بيكون في استهداف أول من قبل الطيران، وبعد 10 دقائق أو ربع ساعة بيكون في استهداف آخر لنفس المكان.
The main challenge that we face is the double tap tactic, as the airplanes hit the place and after a few minutes they hit the same location again.
والشيء اللي بنقدر اللي بنتمنى نعمله فعلا اليوم هو انه يوقف قتل المدنيين بسوريا. هذا اللي نحن هذا هدفنا وهذا املنا انه يصير.
هي صارت انه شو بتتمنوا لو كان فيكم تعملوا؟
هو لو نقدر نعمله انه نقدر نقنع اللي عم يقتلوا المدنيين يوقفوا قتل المدنيين.
We wish if we could convince those who are responsible of killing the civilians in Syria to stop killing.
Well, with this, I think we have come to the end of this very interesting morning that has been so revealing also of the political challenges. We're proud to have you here. We're proud to be with the Right Livelihood Foundation and the Swedish Church. We do this every year, and I hope we'll continue to do so, organizing meetings with the recipients of the Right Livelihood Award. We congratulate you once again and want to applaud your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.